Hey guys, welcome back. This is Mr. Wright Way. If you have not subscribed, please do so. The subscribe button will be right there. On this episode of Quarantine Conversation, I have my good friend Shane Helms, better known as the Hurricane. So sit back, kick your feet up, and enjoy this quarantine conversation. And remember, always do it the right way. Now on to the interview. What's up, brother?
Nothing much, man. How you doing?
I'm good, man. It's early on a good Friday morning to record this. Man, how's life been treating you?
Not bad, man. It's raining here in North Carolina, as it seems to do every day for about the past 2 months, either every day or every other day. So it's not, but I'm hiding in house. I'm still in quarantine mode, so it's no big deal for me.
How's the family?
Everybody's good, man. The Babadooks are running crazy. I mean, if you got kids my age, this, in our situation, this hasn't bothered them at all being home. They just play video games, and I bought this souped up golf cart to drive around the farm on, and so they've been having a blast, man. Try to shelter them from, all the bad news out there. So,
man, it's good. It's so crazy out there today, man. I'm sitting with my son, me and my fiance, and we, getting ready to go back to school, and we just trying to figure this stuff out. This virtual learning going in, and and it doesn't affect you until it's personally. People always say, you can feel about stuff, but until it should come affect you, because this either you believe it or not. I mean, this stuff is real, man. It's a lot of folks and stuff. And
I'm not looking forward to that virtual. I'm not looking forward to that shit at all. I'm not qualified to be a teacher. I put up a tweet yesterday, and I forget what it was. It was just a joke about how my son all day long is just asking me questions.
I was gonna say that.
Like, I don't know the answer to any of this shit, and now I gotta teach him.
So I was going to tell you that too, because as soon as I got up in the morning, in my usual routine, I get up, get some coffee, do the bathroom, look through the phone, and then my fiance, his son woke me up, and he loves trains and the garbage places and just weird little stuff that okay, did I like weird shit too? I was little signs going through and stuff, and then as soon as he get up, I already knew he goes he's playing Minecraft. Kids love that Minecraft, And he asked me I'm building Tokyo. I'm like, hold on. I said, I gotta do an interview. I said, I will sit there and we'll watch, we'll talk later. And as soon as we get up, be ready to ask questions. And I'm not used to that,
No.
I don't have kids of my own, but he's my son now. And I'm not used to that. So that's something getting used to, is being a dad and answering a lot of questions. I'm like, dang, y'all ask a lot of questions. So I saw that tweet.
That's
I was
all they do.
Oh, he didn't do that.
All they do. Sebastian growing up, I mean, I guess I don't know what age it is. It's probably different for all kids, but he just turned 8.
Yeah.
And so this whole 7.5 to 8 is just being every day is an interview. And I'm like, man, and I was like, dude, and that's what I was thinking about. I was like, man, I really should know the answer to a lot of these questions. And there's just so many of them I have. Number one, I don't know what he's talking about, especially when he starts talking about Minecraft or Roblox and all these the newer games that I mean, we didn't even have video games when I was a kid, so we went outside. That's what we did.
Yeah, you gotta get back in. You gotta get back inside for the light before it get dark. When that street
and
light.
Even then, they didn't really care. Parents, it's amazing what we did, because I'm terrified as a parent that my kid's gonna get here all the time.
Yeah.
So, but man, when I was a kid, we were out, out past dark. We'd just be walking down the street. We'd walk miles. I don't let my kids hardly out of my sight. I don't know which one's right or wrong. I don't know I don't want to be a helicopter parent, but at the same time, dude, you're just terrified at all times. It's amazing. Like I said, that, we didn't wear helmets when I was younger. None of the safety precautions were in place when I was a kid. That might explain a lot, though, now that I say that out loud.
I think about that, man. So, man, for people who are tuning in, and most of my channel is revolved around video games and wrestling and stuff like that, and you're a very known public figure, but people who don't know you, can you give a quick summary about who you are? Now, one thing I don't like about you is that you eat rock. So,
What? What was that?
That you don't, you beat The Rock. I don't like that shit. So
I'm sorry. Can you say that one more time for the people in the back? I mean, basically, I'm just one of the best people that's ever lived. Basically, that's what we're dealing with here. I don't know, man. I was a little kid. I wanted to be either a superhero or a wrestler, and somehow I ended up being both.
Yeah.
And so that's who the Hurricane Helms is. And I don't know. I got real lucky. Fate dealt me a good hand in a lot of ways. I mean, I definitely had some massive lows, but at the same time, I'm just very cognitive of the fact that I had a lot of things go my way that for other people just didn't, and got to travel the world, in between 55 and 60 different countries on 6 continents. I ain't made it to Antarctica yet, but I'm going to get there. That's where the aliens are. Them damn aliens are in Antarctica, and that's why they don't want me there.
Hey, man, they're going to be here next year.
Oh, man, they here. They here laughing at us. That's just it in a nutshell, man. I kind of stay in my little town in North Carolina. I like to go to the big cities, but then I like to come home to the farm. And now I'm a dad in the past my prime on the downhill and the downswing of life. But I'm happy as a clam, man. So no complaints on my end.
That's good.
Where did we meet, by the way? I was trying to think about it. Was it that show in Arkansas, or
it was that show in Arkansas? Because it was like, and I was telling one of my guests the other day, like, I'm the type of person that I get comfortable really quick with people. Like, I like meet you like, hey, like, and you look over like, where does dude come from? I'm like, I'm just, because I was so hustling doing my photography stuff that I would like sneak in the shows and I would ask people, like, just let me learn how to take pictures and shit, because that's what I want to do, man. You didn't know, I really wanted to be a wrestler when I grew up, right? And when I was growing up. I wanted to be a wrestler, I wanted to be a photographer, and I wanted to travel the world. So I joined the military.
Right.
So I joined the Navy. I went to a dojo one day, just random. Man, they beat
a wrestling dojo or?
Yeah, in Yokosuka. In a wrestling dojo in Yokosuka. Yeah. I don't know if it was bootleg or I didn't know. I just knew it was wrestling. And it said wrestling, so they got me in. I didn't hear speak no English. None of them speak no English. I was there for like 5 hours, beat my ass. I went back to the ship. I ain't doing it.
Yeah. They goddamn American. They beat that ass. That's what they do, man. They'll still test you. I went over there, and this was, dude, this was after my WWE run, so maybe 2011. And I'm working for Antonio Inoki's promotion.
Okay.
And I always hear these stories back in the day about how the Americans would go to Japan and the Japanese wrestlers would test them a little bit, go in there and knock the shit out of them just to see what would happen, see if they fight back. But I'm Hurricane at this point. I'm not a young boy.
Yeah.
So I didn't really expect that. I get in there, me and Bobby Lashley are in a tag team. This dude kicked the shit out of me, man. And so I had to fire up on him. I had to fire up on him big time. And Bobby's over in the corner going, Helms, calm down. I was like, all right. I said, damn, I can't believe they still do that. But it's just part of the business, man. It's not necessarily hazing, but it's in that family of bullshit. Like let me just see what this person's made out of type deal. But yeah, it's funny that they got you in that dojo.
Ooh, boy, I never forget that day. Man, I love Japan, but I wouldn't go back to that shit. That hurt, man. God dang.
Well, Japan is all. Did you ever go to Roppongi? Did you ever go to Roppongi in Tokyo?
Yeah.
Oh, we can't talk about that. We can't
talk about that. I talk about window shopping too, but I can't talk about that.
Can't talk about that.
You can't talk about that. That was good times though. Man, I was 19. No, how was it? Yeah, I was 19. Yeah, because I got hurt.
Oh yeah.
I got hurt when I was 21, so I was 2.5 years over there in Japan. And man, I kicked it so hard. Because they put me on the wrong dang ship. They put me on like the Admiral ship. So the Admiral ship, we ain't do no work hardly. We'll be in and out of ports every 4 or 5 days, man. Woo, boy. Yes. The first time I got drunk, just everything. Like you pull in the port, they be out there waiting on you. Hey, what's up, boy? Hey, we American. We could come down. We would tear up everything, just it was good. It was back in the day before they really hated us, because now I went over there and messed up a lot of stupid stuff. But it was really fun, man. It was like, you go over there and you meet dignitaries and you go to, it was just, I can't say I really had a good life, even though the accidents and all the stuff I had and stuff. I had a really good life, man.
Yeah.
But like going back to where we met, it was in that show in Arkansas for that TCW show.
TCW, yeah.
Mm-hmm, yeah. And then we had that dinner afterwards, and then I kind of do that how you was cool and say, "You the whitest black dude I ever met." I was like, "Yeah, I heard that before." I heard that before.
I get that every now and then. It's that Southern twang, man. It kind of sounds. I get Louisiana all the time, but it's just I'm from North Carolina. Never lived in Louisiana, but. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I grew up in a very diverse, area, and my family's all over. Our family tree is just all over the place. Got all the branches, and I don't know. I just kind of fit in with everybody. So yeah, I've heard that a lot. So especially when I used to ride with Jonathan Coachman, because he was the, they would call him the whitest black guy ever, and I was the blackest white guy ever. So somehow we checked all the boxes if we were together.
Yeah, that's how I was, man. I was like the blackest white guy ever, or something like that, because. I mean, it's funny, but it's not, because it's like now it's even better. But I was into comics. I was into like video games, wrestling, just stuff that a lot of black people didn't really do. And I was always.
But that's the thing. People think it's things that black people don't do, but that's stuff that I've been into my whole life, and I had black friends that were into it the whole life. It's just one of those weird stereotypes that was kind of. Propagated by both sides. White people and black people promoted that stereotype in it. Like, one of my earliest friends, just the reason I got into Power Man and Iron Fist, because my best friend at the time was a black guy and a black kid like me. And it wasn't a lot of, for whatever reasons, a lot of black characters. But we found Power Man and Iron Fist and we're like, yeah, okay. And, but there's definitely, I go to comic book shops. One of my good buddies that runs a comic book shop, Sequoia. His name's Sequoia. He's a black guy, and so I mean, I definitely see, a lot of black people in that culture. But the stereotype was that it was a white thing for whatever reason. So who knows?
I remember one tweet. I'll never forget it. I don't know if it was a tweet or Facebook message, but you say, "How can somebody make fun of somebody for reading a comic book?" I mean. Yeah. It's so true, man. Like, seriously, if you break that down, you actually making fun of somebody because they want to read.
Yeah, that's got to be the worst thing ever. But, especially when you're young and kids, because kids would always make fun of the smart kids.
Yeah.
And the smart, like, these are the people that are going to be the boss when you're older. So whenever I do my Don't Be a Bully campaign, I make sure to try to put a squash on that. Like, if y'all making, and I'll tell all my kids, if y'all making fun of the smart kids, you're going to regret that when you get older, because that's going to be your boss, and you're going to want a raise, and he ain't going to give it to you. Him or her.
Has your son ever did anything that you did like, dang, I did that stupid thing, and now here it comes back on me?
I mean, I don't know. Probably, I'm sure he's definitely got my personality. He's happy. He's all over the place all the time. But they're so into the games, the iPads, and the switches, and like I said, I didn't have that when I was a kid. So the interests are a little different. And Braxton's 14, and they're just kind of homebodies. Where I was an athlete even early on, and even before sports, I was rambunctious. I couldn't really sit around too much. I need to be doing things. They can chill at home. Like I said, this whole quarantine thing hasn't fazed them one bit. And I've seen parents on social media talking about, man, my kids are going crazy. They want to get out of the house. I'll ask my kids sometimes, hey, y'all want to go anywhere? They're like, no. We kind of set them up. They got everything they want here, so that, really different than me in that aspect. I was, I had a bicycle. We would ride miles every day when I was a kid. My kids just chill, man.
So, man, we was talking the other day. I'm really excited about the new comic book. That new Turtles comic book coming out, that 5 series. Man, I mean, I haven't really been excited about comics in a long time, but that one, man, I can't wait to see that last Ronin. What you think about that?
I'm excited for it. There was the Turtles really got back in my mind recently, because on my podcast, Highway to Helms, you can find it every damn where. I do a segment called the Comic Slam every week with different comics I talk about. And I'm really just trying to use whatever name value I have left to promote comics. That's the whole purpose of that, to try to distill some of these, negative stereotypes that are in, surround comics. And anyway, I found there was a Batman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles crossover
Yeah.
This was actually the second one. The first one I'd missed. And I was reading the second one, and I was just blown away by just how creative it was and how witty and funny. And everything just kind of really was fit together in that book, you know. So kind of got me really back into the Turtles, because I haven't thought about the Turtles in forever. I mean, I went and watched the movies that came out, you know, whatever. I mean, I don't even register time anymore, but maybe 5 or 6 years ago, there's some cool ass motion picture Turtles out.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to this Ronin one to see what they're going to do with it. See, that's the thing about too, like people don't understand when the Turtles came out, they were nasty. When they first came out, that shit was not for kids at all. If you go back into what the Turtles really were, once they started to get popular and the creators realized that they can make money off of them, that this could be a merchandising thing, they dumbed it down a little bit. They PG'd it up.
They did.
You know, but it was not PG in the beginning.
It was the right move for them to do it, though. You know,
for the money, yeah.
Yes, for the money. I mean, like the real comics were really gritty back in the day. You know, they were just whew. You go back to, like I said, you go back to them early comics. It was, and I didn't realize those comics until after I got a little bit older. I'm like, oh man, this. Yeah,
most people didn't. Like if you watch like what you think the Turtles are, and then you find those books just by accident, it's a shock to the system.
It really is like a culture shock. It really is. It's like, well, I landed in Japan for the first time. I'm like, oh shit, it's like a different world over here, you know?
Were there any turtles over there?
Shit, it was some turtles, all right. Some mongooses, some what was that cereal back in the day? Big Mix or Big Moose, whatever that thing was. That crazy looking cereal that had all that Big Mix look ugly thing. You remember that?
Oh, there you talking about.
Oh no, but it was a big. I don't know. Are you a cereal guy?
Yeah.
It was a cereal. It was like by Kellogg's. It was like this Big Mix or Big Mooks or something like that back in the day. It was this weird ass little character. Had all these ugly shapes. It was an ugly character, but it was like a whole bunch of different cereals in one thing. It was kind of like a Big Mix or something. It had this ugly little character that was just really ugly. Man,
I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, man. So, but you tweet about your farm a lot. When did you start doing that?
I guess we relocated out here about 4 years ago, 4 going on 5. You know, when me and the Empress got together, you know, I had a much bigger home. Yeah. And so they all moved in with me. Not they all, her and Braxton. Okay. And then, you know, we had Sebastian, you know, and her family had farm. And so, you know, and we were just having this discussion. I was like, you know, I mean, and I had a couple homes, and I was like, I can sell these homes. Ain't nobody making no more land. So if we're going to relocate, if we're going to do this move, if we're going to commit to be together forever, you know, if we need to, you know, invest in the land that your family already has. And like I said, I can sell these homes. And so, you know, I was real lucky in the business, you know, and I did pretty good with my money. So, you know, we sold a couple of my homes, relocated out here. Her parents are right across the street. We bought a house right next to them for my parents too. So everybody's out here.
That's good.
And that's great. Like at Thanksgiving and Christmas, dude, all we got to do is go across the road. We don't got to travel nowhere. Now, my brothers and sisters hate that because they got to travel now.
Yeah.
But, you know, the family farm is about 120 acres altogether. And so the people got, you know, the kids got a lot of place to play. You know, we'd say, like I said, we was driving around in the golf cart just 2 days ago with little Sebastian, and, you know, there's deer out there. Them nasty bastards out there in my soybeans, man. See, people think they think deers are cute, but they're assholes. And so it's interesting. Do what?
Eat all your food, man.
Yeah, they'll go out there in the soybeans and tear that shit up. They'll go in the watermelon patches and stomp the shit out of them.
What?
And like they might eat a little bit, but then they just smash a bunch of damn water. Like they can't go to the edge of the patch. Like if they just went to the edge of the patch and ate like one of the watermelons on the boundary, that's one thing. No, they got to stomp their ass into the middle of the patch. They'll stomp all over about 20 watermelons just to eat whatever one they picked out. You know, you got to go throw rocks at them bastards, you know.
You ain't put no fencing up around your stuff, man? You
can't put no fence around no farm, man, because the tractors and stuff got to go in and out.
Oh, man, they just smash your watermelons. That's so messed up. I can see that.
Motherfuckers.
They like, they're smashing. Hey, y'all can see that stuff. You need to catch that on camera one day. You need to put like a little GoPro out there and just catch that stuff. That'd probably be funny.
Motherfuckers, man. You know, you got to do. There's all kind like the people that, you know, people that are vegans and stuff don't understand. Even when you own a farm, you have to deal with animals that are just, you got to get rid of them. Yeah, you don't know what to do. Like, I don't go out there and shoot them or nothing, because especially the soybeans, that's not mine. You rent out the farmland to other farmers. Really? They'll rent the land, and then they do whatever, and you get a percentage of the crops, or the proceeds off the crops. But I ain't out there trying to grow no soybeans or tobacco and shit like that. But all these animals, man, it's a war. You constantly have to fight them bastards.
They just stumping your poor little wallet. I mean, that's fun. I never knew that. I think people know that, but because I grew up on a farm, but I really that was years. I was about 5, but I didn't realize they just stump your stuff. You think the deers be cute, cuddly, taste great sometimes, but
Nah, they nasty, man. They make nasty noises. They shit everywhere. Like the woods, they're real pretty when they're just on the edge of the woods and they're going in and out. Like you'll see them all the time in the evening, just as the sun's about to go down, and you'll get some really pretty visuals with them. And but let's say when they're out there stomping their shit, they'll be, we get big pumpkin patches around here too, and they'll do the same thing. Go out there and stomp the shit out of the pumpkins. And like I say, just eat it on there. Like, they'll walk out to the middle of this damn field and be stomping shit the whole time. Like, just eat one there at the edge, and we'll be fine. But no. Yeah, see? And to me, that's talking shit. Yeah. They talking shit to me, so it's on.
So, man, the current state right now of pro wrestling, man, you've been everywhere. You probably wrestled almost everywhere. How you think people are handling this quarantine? Who you think is doing a pretty good job with it?
As far as the companies?
Yeah, as far as the companies, like, just is watching in general. Everything is just suddenly changed just overnight. Well, not really overnight, but it changed. Having no crowds. Putting people who are there in there.
The no crowds thing has sucked. I mean, we all know that. It just wrestling without a crowd is difficult. But AEW has done really well. I think Impact Wrestling somehow been gaining momentum. Yeah. Impact and AEW has been gaining momentum. Ring of Honor they're kind of not doing a lot right now, kind of restructuring, it seems like, taking a break, but they're still putting content out. Yeah. So, I've been watching that because that's been more of like some character development a little bit. And, WWE, they're still doing the best they can. And some shows are good, some shows are bad, but, we miss our fans, man. Wrestling needs its audience. There's no other form of entertainment of sport or entertainment that needs an audience as much as pro wrestling does, man. It's like watching stand-up comedy without a crowd. Like, I don't care how funny the jokes are. Yeah. If you ain't got a crowd there to laugh with you, it's just not going to be as funny. And wrestling's the same way. If you ain't got that crowd there, that energy to feel that mob mentality, when you get that energy from a mob, that's the good stuff. And it's just not there right now. So, I'm just hoping this shit clears up. It should have been gone by now, but bunch of knuckleheads.
Hey, listen, in Japan kind of like they got it under control. I was watching New Japan the other day, and I see some people in the crowd, they listen, they got their stuff under control. It just, man, all this stuff, it makes you appreciate stuff, man. You go back and look at old stuff, like, dang, we didn't appreciate it like we should,
Yeah. You don't appreciate shit till it's gone. I tell you what, too, like with all the people that are struggling wearing, not even struggling wearing the mask, they just don't want to because it's taken away from their freedoms. That shit, I just can't help but think, and I was thinking about this because I had to, like, on the farm, we had to get this tractor and pull up these tree stumps, right? Yeah. And this shit's hard work, right? But then when I walked in my house, man, that air condition hit me, and I'm like, whoo. And it just things like that make my mind go back to, like, if you go back a couple 100 years ago, to before all this technology, like what our ancestors had to do. And just not even a couple 100 years, go back 1,000 years ago, before we had electricity and running water and automobiles. All of our ancestors were just struggling to get us to this point. And our country is getting our asses kicked because people can't wear a mask. The easiest thing in the world. It is not that hard, and our country is just getting his ass kicked because people can't be tough enough to wear a little mask. Compared to what our ancestors went through, like, this is embarrassing.
Man, we spoiled, man. We just like, we
and stupid. Sport is one thing. This is stupidity.
It's straight out stupid. It's stubbornness along with it, just a thing. I don't know, man. I keep looking like, and I hate to be that. When I say so, I hate to be like, oh man, am I getting old? But it's like the generation behind me. It's like, what the hell is wrong with y'all? Like, really? You just look at Twitter and you look at like video games, for instance. Like, people get mad about a video game. I'm like, don't you know a video game was made to enjoy, to have fun? I mean, not be overly critical. Yeah, I understand to be disappointed, because I was disappointed about some stuff, especially like yesterday with the Xbox thing. Which, right now in the gaming world, PlayStation and Xbox are getting ready to unveil their next generation systems. So Xbox has slashed their old systems. They can't get them no more, so you can buy the new one. But the new one has all this new, like, 8K ray tracing, all this kind of technical shit. And they said, we're going to show games. The first time they tried to show it, they just showed trailers and shit, pretty-ass trailers. And people like, what? All right. So I know you heard of Halo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they had Halo 5. I want a Halo Infinite. Pretty game. Looked really good. It didn't look super next gen. It was like, oh, I don't have to get the new system. So they were showing all their new games coming out. But after Halo, they just showed trailers again. They didn't show no gameplay. They didn't show nothing. It was like, we're looking like, what the hell was that? But all the Xbox fans were like, oh, this is so great. Yeah. Like, hold on. I mean, so it was just that divide yesterday. People was going crazy on Twitter and being mad. And people don't like facts. So when you present facts, you should know this. When you present facts, people was like, what? No, but this. I like, start with the whataboutisms. Just look at the facts. This was really shitty. They didn't do that. It was real stupid. But to go back to what I was saying, like, video games, no matter who you like, it's supposed to be fun. I mean, people forget that. People don't understand. Yes, I'm a collector. I love to collect. I like the physical media and all that kind of stuff. That's great. That's my thing. And there's a lot of other collectors' things. But some people get super mad because a game didn't have this. But I'll be like, okay, what are you going to contribute to it? Can you help do this? That's why I try to be not overcritical about professional wrestling, because I'm not a wrestler. Yes, I'm in that world, but do you know how to take a bump? Do you know how to do this? Do you know how to time? Do you know how to time a show out? Do you know how to do all this stuff? People don't understand the little nuances. Do you know how you got to stay in the boundary? Because people, maybe like USA or something, you can't do so many things because they have sponsors. They have this. They have that. It's a business. People forget that stuff too. And they overly critical about stuff they don't know about. And like, Twitter's give a voice to people who don't really need it, which is I saw a thing like, I wish I can read people's mind until I got Facebook. And now Facebook, and it's just the whole social media thing. Like, I guess we're growing up with this technology with social media, and this really social media. It's like, we didn't have that back in the day. We had like go to somebody's house, or we had to write a letter and all this kind of stuff. And people get easy to write an email real quick. Boop, all like, no. It's just technology is a blessing and it's a curse. And it's
for sure.
Just don't know how to. I just feel sorry for people. Like, man, like, the kids growing today are like, y'all gonna have to learn how to balance this shit. Because right now you can see, like, that social media, and that's one thing about this quarantine, man, that's messing people's mind up, is people know how to handle stuff because they're not used to getting that satisfaction or that validation. They're not used to getting that, or they are used to getting that validation, but it's going to other places and stuff like that. It's really messing people's mind up, man. I think, the social media is out of control. It's all about validation most of the time. Yes, we love to be like, hey, I put something up, I want you to like my picture. Yeah, I feel good. Or you're like, hey, I like my match or something like that. But some people go just go stupid with it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it can be fun, and I mean, it's like anything. People will abuse anything. People abuse cheeseburgers, so.
The cheeseburgers are great. I'd use a cheeseburger in a minute.
What that cheeseburger do to you, man?
Yeah, shoot, put some bacon and some good cheese on it.
You want to talk about video games, though. My damn son got the new Mortal Kombat. Like, and I love Mortal Kombat when it first came out. Like, I'm not a heavy video game player at all. I play my little apps on my phone. That's about it. And I just never had time, not with the travel. And I was going out after the shows. I wasn't one of these guys that's going back to the hotel playing football. I'm going to the damn clubs. That's what I did. That's what Sugar Shane and the Hurricane did. I had a different agenda back in those days. It didn't have nothing to do with no damn video games. But anyway, when the Mortal Kombat came out, like, that was one of the games I did love. And Shaolin Monks, is one of my favorite games of all time. That story mode in that game was incredible.
Yeah.
But anyway, so my son, we got him Mortal Kombat. He's 14, it's and it's got the one with RoboCop and all of that. So I went up there and I was like, oh yeah, I played with you, man. I used to be, old man used to be good at this one. He beat the piss out of me, man. It was just ridiculous. It wasn't even fun. I was like, man, I ain't gonna play with you no more.
Did he finish you?
Oh, every damn time.
Hey.
Every single time he got me.
Oh man,
yeah. He beat my ass with the Joker. It was embarrassing.
You say, speaking of games, so you said you like that Shallow Monks, man. That was a really good game. That Liu Kang and Kung Lao, that story, that was a really good game. I actually picked that game up, and that game still goes, man. Sometimes like $20 to $30, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was just all kind of really, that story mode was cool. That whole, I forget what they called it, but it's like some kind of graveyard where you had to go bust the tombstones and you would get like artifacts and shit like that. And that was really in-depth video game. That's a cool little world that Mortal Kombat has created for itself as well. I like games like that, all those different characters, and one of those games that are heavily ensembleized like that.
So what else are you doing these days, man? What are you reading? What are you reading and stuff?
I mean, dude, for the Comic Slam, I have to read, I probably read about 10 books a week at least. And I might narrow it down a little bit. Sometimes I get real heavy depending on how, you don't have comics. So some you fly through and some, take a little bit of time. But I read a little bit of everything, the newest discoveries I found, Ice Cream Man is like a horror comic. It's got a real Twilight Zone feel to it. It's from Image. Like in every issue is a self-contained story. There's little elements that kind of play throughout the series, but you can still read each issue as a standalone. So, but it's creepy as hell. I'm talking about it has that old school Twilight Zone vibe to it.
Wow.
But so that's one of my favorite ones going. There's a lot of cool shit happening in comics now. Daredevil, and I forget the writer's name right now. I haven't really paid attention to Daredevil in forever. And I just read this 2-issue arc from that series that was just so damn good. And I was like, man, and now I want to go back, and it was like issues 19 and 20. And so they were so good. I'm going to go find where this writer started on that series and read that whole thing. It was just fabulous. There's a lot of cool stuff. There's a Venom. Like, I haven't cared about Venom in forever because he just got done to death for a while. He was like Wolverine. He was just in everything, everywhere, and I just got really tired of him. But issue 25, I think that came out maybe a month or two ago, is kind of I was like, let me just check Venom out, see what's going on. And it was so well done too. So now I'm back interested in that.
Wow.
There's a lot of cool shit, man.
You'd
have to pick a book and ask me what's going on.
Yeah.
That's how much shit is out there.
I know. So hey, this technology. How do you feel about the switch over from digital comics to like paperback? What do you like better? Do you still like the paperback, or do you really like the all digital on your phone or stuff like that?
My preference is to hold it in my hand, paper, but I understand the digital format too, man, because I'll sit there and read that. Like, Marvel has their digital system, and so does DC Universe. And like DC Universe, I was able to catch up with this Manhunter series that I didn't know anything about. And man, just sitting there scrolling through that, and it's a little bit easier too, because you'll say, wait a minute, what, did I miss something? And you could just click a button at the top, and then you scroll, and you'll find what you need instead of having to go through all your back issues. So there are some advantages to having, it all on that digital platform for sure.
That's pretty cool right there.
Especially like when, I'll back a lot of Kickstarter campaigns and what's the other one? Indiegogo. Yeah. I'll back a lot of those campaigns. So they'll send you the digital format as well as the physical, and you'll get that digital sometimes right away. Most of the time you'll get it. It might be a couple of weeks, but sometimes you'll get it right away, and you'll get the physical in a couple of weeks due to shipping and stuff like that. So I see advantage when I was traveling, especially them digitals, because you get like that Marvel Universe app, and you can download. So for offline, like if you're online, you can just read as much as you want. But you can download like 12 issues offline. So that means if you're on a plane, you don't have Wi-Fi, you got 12 issues right there in your iPad. So there's a lot of advantages to digital as well.
Speaking of rumors on stuff right there, let's go to that. You see the
Wasn't nobody
rumors.
speaking of rumors? You just
I
jumped
know,
in.
right? No, I just put that in. Yeah, I put that in my head. But
Speaking of BLTs.
yeah, let's be a team. You know, which side do you like, the lettuce or the no? What about Secret Wars? You heard about that? Have you heard that rumor about Secret Wars?
I mean,
Do you think it's gonna happen?
the only thing I first heard of it, if it's a rumor, I don't know if it's actually a rumor or if it was just that Boss Logic guy who he put up this graphic and then everybody jumped on it. So I met him at San Diego Comic-Con. He's a cool guy. He's a cool cat.
Oh, okay.
And he just made a name for himself with these just digital graphic art images that he keeps putting out. And he's just
so good.
Yeah, he's fantastic and a cool guy. And so yeah, it was just Spider-Man in the black costume. And then I was having a conversation, I forget with who, Nate the Rock Quarry from UFC. He was like, yeah, but they've already committed, the symbiote's an alien now. And I was like, yeah, but Marvel didn't do that. That was Sony. That was Sony that did Venom. Yeah. If Marvel gets the right to it, they can just redo the whole thing. But I mean, if they did it, I don't know how true to the comics it could be. I don't know if you bring the Beyonder to the Marvel universe, especially after Thanos, because you had this all-powerful entity.
That was good.
And once he gets the Infinity Gauntlet, basically he's the Beyonder. So there might be a redundancy in storyline that they might not want to do. I would still love it because I loved old school. I mean, that whole 1985, 86 had some of the most amazing series that came out because you had Secret Wars, you had the Watchmen, you had the Squadron Supreme, and you had Crisis on Infinite Earths. All came around the same time frame. And those 4 series, and Squadron Supreme doesn't get anywhere near the credit it deserves because it still hits today. And so many other series stole from the Squadron Supreme. It came out a couple months before Watchmen. And Watchmen gets all the credit and acclaim. Squadron Supreme is just as good.
Do you think DC did a good job with Crisis on Infinite Earth on CW?
Yeah. That was fun. The CW shows, they're really PG. And with that, there's a degree of corniness and hokiness that they, we have to allow them to get away with, especially if you watch the Legend show. They just get straight corny sometimes.
Oh, they get super corny.
But it was fun, man. I thought it was really fun. A lot of cool stuff. Just because I've been reading comics so long, when I see characters that I never thought I would see on television, when I see them pop up on that screen, I don't know. There's just it's a little validation of all the of all the million times I got picked on for reading comics, and now seeing them on the big screen, like when a monitor popped up, and I was like, oh shit, it's on. It's the monitor.
Yeah.
And like my woman, she has no idea. She has no idea what they're even talking about, what's going on. She don't know why I'm so excited. But that's why the whole Avengers series in Marvel with Thanos, because I was a Jim Starlin guy. Like Captain Marvel, when I first got into comics in 1979, Captain Marvel was my very first favorite character. And so I've known about Thanos since the early 80s. And that's how long I've known about this character and been interested in him. And so when he first popped up in Avengers, nobody in this theater even knew who he was, what was going on. And I was just like, oh my God, I'm going crazy. Nobody understands. And then now everybody knows who he is.
Yeah.
But when somebody that, when you're a fan of something that was low key and nobody really knew about it, and then it blows up, you just feel this weird connection about it. Like I said, it's this weird validation. So anytime, if you want to talk about too, I think it was Civil War when Ant-Man turned into Giant Man.
Yeah.
In the airport scene, shit like that, I would go crazy for it. I'll be like a little kid,
It's good.
I like being a fan. I like being a performer, of course, in pro wrestling, but I like being a fan and other things too, man. And I don't mind being the mark or whatever you want to call it, man. I love that shit.
Man, it's so good. When I was watching all those movies, all those years, and then you can see the fan base is jumping on and okay, it's getting popular again. And it was a slow build, but that last 2 movies was validation of all the work that you put in, that they put in, and you put in, you being there. And even now, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about that last scene and stuff. It's I mean, it's like you don't get that no more. You know, it's like, ooh, I'm like, I'm getting excited now.
You talking about Endgame?
Oh yeah, like especially
Yeah.
like when Captain America's like finally said like Avengers Assemble.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
Dude, yeah, that whole theater I was in, like, with just when he picked up the hammer,
yeah,
and Thor was like, I knew it.
yeah.
You know, like you get all these little Easter eggs that were going on, and yeah, when he finally did the Avengers Assemble, man, it was huge pop.
Yes, it was
Huge pop.
And it's like you had to be there, you know, like, and it was like that in every theater. And every time I went back, that's the only movie I went back and watched 4 times in the movie theater. I never watched that.
4, yeah. I never went back and watched 4, but I saw a couple of the Marvel movies several times. I know I saw Pulp Fiction twice back to back. I went out, and my friends were outside, and I was like, man, this shit is a bomb. And they're like, man, come watch it with us. I said, man, I just got out. They go, man, we'll pay for your ticket. I said, all right. Right back in. And that's a long-ass movie.
But no, hey, then the 4 times they was on the $5 Tuesday, so.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, yep.
The ticket's $5, but the popcorn's $20.
Man,
I know how to get you in those damn theaters.
Man, I eat before I go or take something in my pocket, you know. I ain't finna.
Man, look at you, man.
Hey, yeah, you from the South too. You know how it used to be like.
Hey, man, I plead the fifth.
You like, hold on, baby, put this in your purse real quick.
Put this in your purse. That's with that fanny pack. Why you wearing that fanny pack for? Don't worry about it.
Hey, I got a little hot dog or something there, put out some candy.
A pocket dog.
Yeah, your pocket, man. I ain't had no fanny pack, man. Put in that pocket or put in that purse. Let's go do that, man. Well, we will close out, man. Thank you so much.
Hey, real quick though about comic movies, in case because the quarantine knocked some shit out of whack. The Valiant Comics came out with Bloodshot, Vin Diesel.
Really?
That one was really good. So you can go to video on demand, buy it. It's like $9 or whatever. Mm-hmm. So that one was real good.
Okay.
The Birds of Prey one was, I don't know. It was kind of there. It was there. I would watch Bloodshot first of those two. But if you're into the animated comics whatsoever, man, Justice League, it was a Justice League Dark Apocalypse War.
That was so good.
Oh, you saw that? Okay, good, man. Yeah, I've watched that one. I've watched that 3 times. I
try to get, that's one thing I'm confused about. It's like, DC can't make a movie worth of shit, but their animation studio is like top notch. You think nobody can't touch it? I believe they have the best animated comic movies, like all the Batman stuff. Even like the Aquaman, the Aquaman one was really good. I think it was like something about Kingdom or something, but it was that was good. I like the one with Justice League when it gets the other Justice League, whatever it was.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And then, like I said, I haven't seen the Batman and Turtles one yet. I want to see that one. I got that on my Apple TV, so I got to watch that soon. But all those movies are like so good, and they don't treat it like kids. It's like, dang, they let that go. And I was watching a thing about Batman.
Have you seen Harley Quinn? The Harley Quinn series?
The cartoon no, I haven't seen that one yet. Is it good,
bro? Yeah, your kids don't even need the same room. They don't need to be in the house when that's playing. Dude, they went like Harley Quinn to me has always been a really stupid character.
Yeah,
and I never really cared about it, especially in Suicide Squad. Okay. I wanted them to beat her ass and throw her out the window. But this animated series, dude, is incredible. It's so funny, so incredibly fun. Huh?
Is it on that DC app?
Yeah, it's on DC Universe.
Okay.
So but it's not for kids. If you think the right away, I mean, just like the first episode kind of gets you going. Yeah. By the second episode, you're like, they lost it. They just said the hell with it. We going straight adult, and it's really good.
Cause I was thinking about getting that DC app, but I got so many darn subscriptions. I got Disney, Hulu, and because I want to see that Doom Patrol. I want to see how Doom Patrol is.
I was watching it earlier. That's why I was a little bit late to this. I need to finish the episode.
It was pretty good. Like, so it's really good, huh?
Yeah, I'm the second season. I'm on episode 3 on the second season. Uh-huh. And have you watched the first season or not?
I haven't even watched first. I haven't got the app yet, so I'm just like debating because I guess, like I said, I just quit my cable and I got YouTube TV, so I'm seeing how that is. It's so much stuff. I'm like, do I need to?
Yeah, but DC. I mean, if you like those animated movies, they got so many you haven't seen. They're just the death of Superman, the reign of the Superman.
I like that. I saw that.
That's some of the best Superman movies you've ever seen. Way better than even going back. I mean that Death of Superman is as good as Superman 2. And Superman 2 is the best Superman movie ever made.
Oh yeah, it is.
So
definitely.
They've done really well on the animated stuff. But yeah, I think DC Universe is worth it.
Okay. Because I was gonna ask you, man, like how important to you, because I didn't realize how important it was until I watched a documentary, Batman the Animated Series, man. It was just like a game changer. It was just so like dark and gritty. Then you see the history about it, like how like they drew on black paper to get the art style and stuff, and it was like kind of
they drew on black paper.
Yeah, they drew on black. That's why it was so dark. Like they animated on black paper. That's why the series is so gritty. It was just so different. It was like they said it was like a film noir type of hero. One guy described it as DC's crime boss animated series, but with Batman, because it was so dark. You know, it was like the first Batman movie. The first Batman movie wasn't about Batman. It was about Bruce Wayne, you know, and then they took it seriously. It like that Batman and the Batman animated series, I think was like just true like good stories, you know, like how can you make a crazy man, a rich man walking around in a bat suit beating up folks at night, make it interesting, you know?
But just wait till you see what Harley Quinn says about it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there's a running joke about why he's the Batman that just is so funny. Do you like Batman, or you really don't? Or you more an Iron Man person? I mean, I like everything, you know. So Batman's one of those ones that he was just so everywhere. Like I never felt a need to read Batman, like because he was in Justice League, so I would read Justice League, so I get him there, you know. But Tom King, I just started reading Tom King's run on Batman. If you don't know who Tom King is, he wrote that Mr. Miracle series that won the Eisner Award. Mm-hmm. He did this series of The Vision and the Scarlet Witch that was just absolutely incredible. Both of those series, the 12 issues, you got to get them. Okay. Like, because I didn't give a shit about Mr. Miracle at all as a character. Now he's one of my favorite characters because of that series. That's how good that series is. When he goes from somebody you don't care about to him being one of your favorites, that's a good series. And so Tom King is doing a new series about Adam Strange from DC. Yeah. But mainly it's about Mr. Terrific, if you know who Mr. Terrific is. Okay, I never heard of Mr. Terrific before. Okay, so well, anyway, it'll take forever to explain that. But that series, 3 issues in, is already fantastic. But he had a really good run on Batman, so I just started that. And Batman's one of those guys that they're never consistent with for me. You know, you don't like. Sometimes he'll have a gadget for everything, and it's like I think sometimes the writing to me is just a little kabuki because you can't have a gadget for everything all the time. Like, is that your superpower? You can just invent any damn thing. Yeah. That's why Iron Man to me is okay, but I never really get into it. And they do the same thing with Mr. Fantastic and the Fantastic Four. That's his power. He can just invent any damn thing. So there's never no jeopardy. You know what I mean? You know, he's just going to invent some shit. And, you know, it's one of the weird things. They almost made a joke about it in Infinity War or in Endgame, that Iron Man just creates a damn time machine like that. You know? But they kind of made a joke about it when it happened so quickly. He goes, "Oh shit!" So at least they kind of made fun of themselves, because really, you can just invent a time machine.
After all that time you have been doing that, you got a family, you walked away, and then
you just invent a time machine just like that. Goddamn. And so, yeah, Batman's in that vein. Sometimes I really like him, and sometimes I just get kind of done with him. Well, I know people going to be, if I don't ask you wrestling question, or give us a wrestling story before we close out, because I'm like, I invited you on. I really hate inviting my wrestling friends on and just talking wrestling, because that's all, you know. I mean, we know you love wrestling, you know you about wrestling, but just tell us some funny wrestling story that you really haven't told the audience or my audience before. Yeah, dude. I know all my stories are out there. I've been podcasting for over 10 years now, so all my stories are out there. If there's anything I haven't put out there, it's because it's incriminating. That's the only thing I haven't put out there. Tell me one of your favorite ones, dear. Hey, did you know I beat The Rock? Did you ever hear that story?
You know what?
Man, did you ever hear about that? It's a really good one. It's about me and your favorite wrestler of all time going head to head and me winning. Clean as a whistle.
See, that's why you didn't get the victory at the end. That's why you didn't get to celebrate at the end. You got to run past Stone Cold. That's all.
I had to run. You got to get that win and go. Just like you stole that candy when you went to the not stole it, but you snuck the candy up into the theater. You know, you got to get out.
You got to get out. Oh man, that's you know what? That still hurts me. You know, that's all right though. You know, you got your little win. That's cool. You got
my little win.
You got your little brush of greatness, as they used to say. You know, that's all right.
Oh yeah. So yeah, but that was one good dude, man. That's one of the good ones. He's a damn good guy.
I tell you my story about The Rock. It's kind of embarrassing, man. But it was my first WrestleMania, and man, it was you know how them long lines be. It was WrestleMania 19. I had just got me a new prosthetic, right, man, and it was a long ass line. So I was like, you know what? I had my crutches. I said, this thing don't feel right, man. That thing broke before. It kind of not broke, but it like kind of like went the other way. It was like hobbly or some kind of way. Man, I was so mad. I was about to cry. I was like, let me take this thing off and just use crutches. Man, I took them crutches and looked like it was long as like nobody gave a fuck. They looked like, oh yeah, okay, well, I'm gonna be him before you do. I'm like, well, bro, you know, look at me. I'm on crutches. I ain't got but one leg on, so I did like this, like did my leg like this, and somebody saw me. Come on up here. They brought a little cart and they brought me on up there and stuff. I had my little thing with The Rock, got my little autograph and stuff. Why my ass? I was so happy to meet her, but I gave this dude a gift. I gave this dude a bottle of cologne.
A cologne?
Cologne, yeah. Cologne. I don't know why. It was like something I wanted to, and I put on it was just something stupid. I don't know why. I'll go back.
How old were you? So you're a grown man.
Yeah.
Because this is after the military.
Yeah, this is after the military. It's like
and you're going to give The Rock a bottle of cologne.
I know, right? I don't know
why didn't you just give him a rose and ask him out on a date? What the fuck
I tried,
give him a cologne?
I tried, but I was gonna do that next. But after I gave it to him, when he looked at it and he like and looked at me like, thanks, bro. I said that was the stupidest shit I ever done. It was dumb. It was just so dumb. He looked at it, he like, oh, come on, okay. And then he sat down and like, you know how nice he is and stuff, but you could tell that moment when somebody looked would be real and you gotta get back in the character. And, you know, he didn't want to be like rude about it. Like, why does dude give me some cologne?
Oh my God, that's funny.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe I did this shit. But it's one of the stupid things. You just don't sit and think like, why? That's like, you know, meeting Michael Jordan or Mike Tyson.
But see, the thing is, it wasn't like you just had the cologne with you. You put thought into this.
Yeah, I put thought into it. Because I'm like, I'm really going to give this to him. Like, man, I want you to, like, what? That's the only thing. I just couldn't think of anything. I was like.
Was it like a special cologne that you found in Malaysia or something? Or this was some shit you got from the mall?
No, it wasn't no shit. It was like, this is even worse. It was Mary Kay Cologne. Because my mom sold Mary Kay, right? Oh Jesus, yeah. And she sold Mary Kay, so I bought some for it. It was this nice little. I think why, because it was like a little special gift, you know, like for dads or something like that. And it had this cologne and it had this like little set piece and everything. I said, oh yeah, this is classy. I'm gonna give this to The Rock. Man, I had a thing and I already like hobbling trying to get to meet him and shit. I got there, he came around and signed stuff. I gave it to him. He like, oh yeah, thanks. And like took my picture, and that's the only time I took a picture with him and I lost it. I hated that moment. So
you don't even have the picture?
I don't even have a picture with him. I got the autograph because I was so like nervous and happy to meet him.
What is wrong with you?
Man, because look, this is why I switched over from using film. I had film in my camera, so I knew that film dropped out somewhere in Seattle in WrestleMania 19, somewhere in there. And I got back on the bus, and I just sunk. I was like, oh, I can't believe I lost the film. Oh, but yeah, that's my silly ass Rock story, man. Meeting him for the first time and getting this man a grown man get another grown man some cologne. It's just funny to me.
Mary Kay.
And now you know what? I'm telling the wrong person that because I know you're gonna keep that forever. But hey,
I ain't never gonna forget that shit.
I know you ain't gonna forget that.
I'm just sitting here thinking, like, what would I do if somebody like? I've actually gotten cologne a few times, but never from a man. There's something that seems a little intimate
I
about
know,
giving
right?
another human being a scent.
Yes, I know, right? I couldn't think of anything to give this dude because I'm like,
why are you giving him anything?
I guess I wanted to show my appreciation to him, man. I'm like, you know how you okay?
I get it.
You know, like
no, I get that. I mean, people give me silly shit all the time, but
like I thank you for everything you did. But you know that was the dude. You know, it was like for me in my life, it was like Michael Jordan and The Rock. And I couldn't meet Michael Jordan and found out Michael Jordan's a real asshole in life, but you know, but meeting The Rock is like, okay, so you know, you like I met almost happy, like I'm gonna do this. And I put all that thought and I just didn't think enough to like, why would I give another man that? After years later I did it. Why? So yes, everybody, now you know my little secret about meeting The Rock. One day I might meet him again and we go over that story, but yeah, man, that's crazy.
There you have it, man. There
all
you
right.
go. Now I understand.
Now you understand.
Now I understand why you're so upset that I beat The Rock.
Yeah, man.
Now it all makes sense.
I hope you had a cologne on when you beat him.
No, it was before. Because I beat him before that Mania.
Oh man. But hey man, yeah, I appreciate you doing this for me, man. Thanks for coming on, sitting, chilling, man. I appreciate you.
No problem, man.
Friend, man. You know, like if y'all haven't followed Shane on Twitter, man, follow this dude on Twitter. He's some of the best tweets. If he does follow you on Facebook, don't come at him because Shane is like, he's loaded. Boy, I never forget. Always. And you like you always ready to go back. And like it's fun to make people laugh, but some people can't take that heat. No. Man, I feel sorry. I just said that I still remember that day. Ooh, you made two of my friends unfriend me on Facebook.
Wow, what was it? I remember it happening, but I don't remember what I said.
You go that much and you don't remember what you say? Man, you told
because I don't plan on it. It just boom, it comes.
I know that's the funniest thing about it. I just like screenshot those and sent some to the mutual friends and say he deserved it. Like he said something to you, and you call him like looking like the evil guy on Shrek or something, and then he was going back, and then they had the nerve. I was like, oh, they didn't do this. They went back like something about you wasn't reveling on wrestling and stuff, and I was like, oh shit. I said, here we go, and you just
here we go.
You just toe into him. I was like,
there was something. I remember there was something specific that I said to those guys.
You said something about like Shrek. It was like, said you need to go like looking for Shrek or something like that. And
he wasn't the guy that I came at him with the eyebrows, was he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you just going, it was so funny. I'm going to sit back and let this happen. Because usually when people do stuff back on your page, I erase them. I said, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to erase this. Because
then they unfriended you.
Yeah, I let it go. But you was like, you said, and then in the end, you said, I'm just trying to make Steve laugh. I was like, thank you. Cause it was
that's the whole, I was just trying to pop you. And then now that you lost two friends.
Yeah. Hey, well, you know, his lady still follow me. So I don't care. It was so funny. It was like, why would you do that to somebody? I'm not you, but don't go back. And then they was taking the person. You just like, okay, I got time. I said, Shane is bored today. He got time because he said this quarantine, he probably ain't got to do nothing. And you just sitting there just waiting for that notification to pop back up so you can say something.
Yeah, man. I don't know. These fingers, man, they'll start typing and then I have to look at them and go, why are you like this?
I bet you should make a whole
each one of my fingertips has its own little brain and they just go off sometimes.
And what's so bad about it, people don't need to like go at folks with your skill, like just so, cause you like so witty and so come back and think about stuff, and it's like just natural. Like some people gotta like they can snap back, but they have to think about it. They had these. No, you just like I'm just like, geez, it's like I bet you back in the day when you I guess did y'all call it joning down in the way down this way?
No,
like just going back and forth like dozens and stuff like that. You call it? Like,
yeah. I used to murder people.
I thought I was saying, I bet you used to like make folks cry. Because it was like always that one person in school who was like, you don't like joke with because they'll take it too far after you took it far. Mm-hmm. You take it to like where the line is. All right. And throw over the line. You don't know where the line is. You like, I'm going to just wipe the line away, make my own line. And it's like, I just sit back and look at some of your comments or some of your responses and you just hurt a folks and don't care. And then people like, I mean, one person said, you are WWE's wrestler or whatever you say, like a producer. You shouldn't talk to people like that. And you like, man, fuck that.
Fuck you. Produce that. Yeah.
It was like, you don't care. It's like all two people who I know do that. You and MVP. Ooh, yeah. Boy, y'all two be going back for, especially him. He'll murder folks on Instagram. And it's like, oh. I just sit there and look. I remember one time y'all both ganged up on somebody. It was about a year or two ago on Instagram. I was just looking like, these dudes together. Whew. Cause y'all both got kind of like the same mentality and the same kind of humor, dark humor and stuff. It's funny. I love it. So. Yeah,
and the thing is, I'm never mad either. Half the time I'm laughing.
I know. I can see you back there like
people's interpretation. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. A damn child. There's a little child up in here, and he's very evil.
Hey, you be like, hey, Dave, look at this. Look what I just did. And I bet your wife, she like.
Yeah. She's like, why are you like this? I'm like, I don't know.
Well, man, I'm going to close it out, man. But thank you so much for coming on the channel today, man. I appreciate you. Appreciate your friendship. Appreciate your time. People already know where to find you at. So, like I said, we're going to close it out. Everybody, thank you for watching. Please follow Shane. Go get his merchandise. It's one of the stand back shirts at Pro Wrestling Tees now?
That was actually collarandelbowbrand.com is where you can get the stand back.
Okay. I love this shirt, right? Because it's perfect for right now. You can
perfect for right now.
Yeah. Tell them stand.
But ProWrestlingTees.com /Shane Helms. Also, you can go find a ton. They got that new Gregory Helms shirt, which is my best-selling shirt. I don't understand it. I'm amazed that people are buying that thing, but it's my best-selling shirt right now. It's amazing.
That's good, man. That's that cool ass music and stuff. It's time and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. But its time was good, but the one before that with the glasses, that's what this shirt is.
Yeah, like,
all they had was my glasses. That's what this shirt is. It's ridiculous. And I hated it with a passion. And now it's on the shirt, so I gotta like it.
Hey man, you never know. What's old is new again, you know? And people love nostalgia. Well, anyway, we're gonna close it out, y'all. Thank y'all, everybody, and always remember to do it the right way. Peace out, everybody.